free Author's Guide to Publishing. Don't wait another day. Take one step closer to realizing your dream of becoming a published author and seeing your name in print. You've already written a book, so the next thing to do is make this free call right now to Dorrance Publishing and get your free guide to publishing. Call right now.
800-485-6904. 800-485-6904. That's 800-485-6904.
The following program, paid for by Right Path Real Estate, does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of the staff, management, or ownership
But it should.
of the station. It's time to get on the right path with Right Path Real Estate Radio with Tom Perry and Jason Bible. Get the answer to your question that's keeping you from taking action and succeeding today. Get ready. The guys that will put your fears behind you are on the air now. They're taking calls at 713-785-1817. Toll free 877-881-0271. Here's Tom and Jason.
Hot mics.
Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Right Path Real Estate, 713-785-1817. So I was at the Right Path Financial Education event last night, and Daniel and I were talking about how excited we are about the new Passive Investor Network and what it really means to the average investor. If somebody's got money in the stock market, something like that, you can't really leverage much in the stock market. If I want to go buy 1,000 shares of Exxon stock, I know at one time, about 3 or 4 months ago, I was referencing that, and Exxon stock was trading at like $87 a share, right? That was the market rate. So it would have been like $87,000 for, and now it's, oh, look at that, it's at $78 a share.
What was it?
It was 87.
Oh, and now we're down to 78.
So now we'd be down $9,000 if I'd have bought 1,000 shares.
Oh, well, that's not good.
That's not winning. That's not.
Oh, but
not huge.
It is not huge. I finished Aaron Clarey's book last night, Enjoy the Decline, and it just goes into this issue. We're in a cyclical downturn for companies actually producing real value.
Right.
We get excited about 2% GDP growth, which is just pathetic.
Right.
And that, unfortunately, is what all of you in radio land out there are investing in. Stuff that, if you really account for inflation and you account for the fees on these things, you're really not making money in the stock market. That's the reality.
No, right.
Of it.
Well, and what he got excited about is he said, he's apparently buying a personal residence right now, and he said, I'm looking forward to when that's going to be done, because then I'm just going to go into buying mode.
Yep.
And his wife is like, well, how are you going to find these deals? He goes, it doesn't matter. I could buy them off of MLS. Because, you buy a $150,000 rental property, we've got to convert.
How are you going to find these deals? Do you know what I do for a living?
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. He goes, it doesn't matter. I could buy them off MLS, because he basically explained that, look, a $150,000 house, if we paid $150,000 for it and we put $30,000 down, we're leveraging. And so if we have 7% appreciation on the $150,000, that's $10,500 in a year, which in 3 years, now, again, not counting the compound effect, right? Because you're going to have a compound effect, but even not counting compound effect on appreciation, that he's going to have made back his money just in appreciation in only 3 years.
Yeah.
Forget about depreciation. Forget about cash flow. Even if it didn't cash flow, and he said, but then you add in that it's going to cash flow also, and pretty soon you're talking about doubling your money every 3 years.
Yes.
And so I said, imagine if you had a stock that you could buy that you knew it was paying a dividend of about 15%, right?
Yeah, that's what's crazy. A piece of real estate that is, look at it like a stock. It is at least a 15% dividend.
A 15% dividend, and you knew that you didn't have a chance of like Exxon going from 87 to 78 in the last 4 or 5 months since I've been talking about Exxon stock, that you knew that it was going to go whatever amount you bought it at today, even if you bought it at retail, you knew it'd be 7% more next year. And oh, by the way, you could leverage 5 to 1.
That's right.
That the amount that you have in, it's leveraged 5 to 1. I mean, that's...
Yeah, I don't... this is the same with the Bitcoin crowd.
Yeah,
Whenever
right.
we have this debate about Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, you understand you can make $1 gazillion. And I'm like, why don't you just buy some single-family houses?
Yeah.
It's like so much easier. It's not even funny. So the guys, when Robert was in town for the weekend retreat, he said, look, you got to come out to L.A. the second weekend of May because they're doing an event, and Casey's going to be there, a bunch of other guys. And they said, look, can you fly in and just give us 30, 45-minute, maybe an hour-long presentation on what's going on in Houston, what you see with the appreciation, why people should be investing in Houston, and all that stuff. And I said, yeah, sure, I can do that. So I think this next year for me is literally going to be flying around from place to place where somebody says, can you come in and talk about what's going on in Houston and what's going on in Texas and why this prediction you're making and why we've seen already for the last 5 years, 12, 13% appreciation and what that means to a leverage return and all that. I mean, it's insane. We're going to sit here 5 years from now, maybe, or even 7 years from now, and people are going to call on the radio
Probably
show.
won't be sitting here.
Yeah, probably won't sit. Yeah, that's true.
Probably be sitting someplace else.
They're going to call on the radio show and they're going to say, oh, I remember when you could go into Katy and find houses under $250,000 and now you can't. And I'm like, yeah, and I told you guys that for 7 years.
And we bought 100 of them.
We bought 100 of them and we're done.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
it's just this idea that you have to buy 1,000 houses or you have to own 3,000 doors in multifamily to become wealthy is absurd. You really don't have to work that hard, but you do have to know what you're doing. And to your point, the passive investor network that we're building essentially has our team going out and finding deals for people.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. All right, so I guess we're done.
We're done for the show today.
Now, if you want to call and ask questions about how do you find deals, how do you fund deals, how do you analyze them, we've got a great deal analyzer. If you come to our free event, it's an opportunity to register for our weekend retreat and get a free deal analyzer, right? Mm-hmm. In fact, I think we've already got 20 some odd people, 25, 30 people registered for the event for Thursday. You're actually going to be doing the Thursday night event.
I will be doing the Thursday free event.
Yeah, I'm going to be doing a property tour with the Basecamp folks.
Yeah, so if you want an introduction to real estate, how we teach it, it's our Intro to Income and Wealth workshop. I'll be here teaching that Thursday night. And then our next event after that won't be until Thursday before our weekend retreat, I think. So like 2 or 3 weeks after that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it's I cannot.
That'll be our next Thursday night event. We'll
Correct.
have a property bus tour on May the 5th.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, if you guys want to go to a bus tour, you can go to rightpathrealestate.com, sign up for the bus tour, where you're going to get to walk some properties,
Yeah,
right?
right.
You get to see, touch, and smell this business.
Yeah.
And it smells great.
We still have a property that's still in the smell phase, the smell-alicious phase.
Are you guys going to go to that one?
Yeah, I think we will.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. And then Blue Willow will be on the market at that point, so we may stop by there and see what a retail property looks like.
Oh, when it's what it starts out with
Right.
and what it looks like when it's done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, the way they smell is the best part.
Yeah, yeah. There's
smells
nothing
like
quite
money.
replaces smell-o-vision.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
smell-o-vision. So what do you want to talk about today?
I don't know. I thought you were going to be the one that brought the topic du jour.
Well, I have to say, I got so excited about, that people. It's amazing because I was watching some of the, the stock market news and all that, and everybody's worried about what's going to happen with North Korea, what's going to happen with this whole Iran stuff, and I realized, that may affect the price of oil. It may affect, other things, but what it doesn't affect is that people still need a place to live.
Yeah, it doesn't affect the price of real estate in Houston, Texas.
It really doesn't, and no, but it can. And here's what people I tell people what I do. When I'm out and about, people say, "Well, what do you do?" And I say, "Well, I've bought, fixed, and flipped a few houses in the last couple of years, and which is kind of an understatement, right?" And so then they say, "Well, what do you think the real estate market's going to do?" And I'm like, "Well, which real estate market?
where?
It's not a real estate market,
Right.
right? I mean, there's certain sub-markets that I probably wouldn't, I'd be a little bit more concerned if I were buying closer to retail, right? Or I'd get a little bit more conservative, when I'm making an offer on a property. I'm not at all a speculator, and this is one of the things that probably ought to discuss. I went out on an appointment yesterday to meet a husband and wife that have a piece of property that really, I don't know that it makes sense to even rehab the property and make it work on a cash flow basis. It's probably a future development deal, but they want so much for the land. I tried to reverse engineer into, if you built 10 luxury homes or things like that, what would that do? And it's really not that difficult it's simple math. All you really have to do is calculate, what do I think it's worth when it's done? What's my selling cost when I sell it? What's my holding cost while I own it? What's my construction cost? And then what kind of profit do I want to make for the amount of risk that I'm taking? And then back into a number that I can offer. I mean, it's just, and you can do it. I was doing it on a napkin.
Yeah.
They own a restaurant, and I was doing this on a napkin and backing into, I'm where y'all are wanting to be and where I'm at. We're off by a factor of like 50%. I'm half of what they want. They want $1.2 million. I'm at 600. I mean, that's a pretty big bridge to gap. A pretty big gap to bridge. Yeah. So, what you realize is that what we do, although if you have a system and a process to go out and repeat and duplicate what you're doing, it's not that difficult to do what we do. The difficulty is in the execution consistently and predictably. And what I find is there's some people out there that want to do exactly what we've done. They want to actively do that, and we'll be happy to teach people how to do that. That's what we do in our weekend retreat. But we're also discovering is there's a lot of people out there that just want to expose. They don't have a clear path right now. We were in a conversation yesterday. They don't have a clear path to get to retirement. Last night at the Right Path Financial Education Workshop, we asked the question, how many of y'all know how much it takes to be retired? I mean, and you have a plan to get there within the age at which you want to retire. Not one person raised their hand that they knew what age they wanted to retire or how much it would take.
Well, most people just want to work till they die. Now they say the exact opposite. I hate my job or whatever, but they never do anything.
Correct.
To actually get to that point.
Right.
And if you want to work till you die, that's fine. I personally don't.
Right.
So what's your number? That's one of the things to talk about the weekend retreat. What's your number? What is it you're trying to accomplish with real estate?
Right.
Or what is it you're trying to get to? And a lot of people sit back and say, well, I don't know. I just want to make more money. And I'm like, well, that's not the point. You could make more money, and
that's not specific enough, and it's not measurable, right? You can't really hold yourself accountable to making more. It has to be a certain amount by when, right? So you're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio. I know we have a break coming up. 713-785-1817. Give us a call.
Mike's out.
Were you able to reach anyone about that link?
Time is money in
Nikki?
a real estate deal. If your insurance company is slow...
So it's through Infusionsoft.
Okay.
The link, the flyer that I sent y'all yesterday.
Yep.
It's the same exact link.
Yep.
And it's going to the right event.
Okay.
But when I'm putting that same link in Infusionsoft,
Yeah.
it's sending me to the old event. So it's something with Infusionsoft, so I emailed Fly about it.
Got it. Okay. Do we have Fly's number, or does she respond pretty quick to email, I assume?
It's not going to be faster either way.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
But the flyer that I sent out yesterday,
Yeah, it goes
everything is fine.
Okay,
It's just us with Infusionsoft. It's
Got
a
it.
messed up thing.
All right, got it. Thanks. That's good to know.
Because I actually just sent you the email that I sent out yesterday with the flyer by itself.
Yeah.
So you can click on it and it's
It
correct.
works. Okay. Yeah.
So I'm confused. Which one doesn't work?
Ours, the one that she has.
Infusionsoft.
She was going to email out the flyer from Infusionsoft, and that's not working.
But the thing about it is, I did the same thing last month and it was right. So I'm thinking Infusionsoft is confused about something. I emailed Fly, so hopefully she'll get back with me fairly quickly.
And recognition for going the extra mile for you. This way, we have the energy to make this your best home purchase ever. Give us a call today to find out the simple steps to get started. I'm Jennifer Hernandez, the Hernandez team at Legacy Mutual Mortgage. Jennifer.legacymutual.com or call 713-579-3611. Again, Jennifer.legacymutual.com. We can't wait to consult with you soon. NMLS 514497.
Equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS
That's what I
514497.
What's that?
I was trying to upgrade my rack instead of having to buy a whole new one, and they said, with all the stuff you're trying to do, you need to buy a
Jet
new
Lending
one.
will help you purchase properties quickly.
Like a
with
bike
little
rack?
cash out of pocket as
Yeah, you know,
possible.
I've got that single
Jet
one on
Lending
there. I
also
want to
sets
carry
up a repair
4.
escrow fund to help you with repair costs. Jet Lending has originated over 2,000 loans in Texas, valued at over $250 million. Jet Lending will help you evaluate your deals for free and give you feedback on value, cost of repairs, and potential loan amount. Jet
think it's
Lending
gonna
is your
be like
fast and friendly hard money source
$1,200
for first-time investors and seasoned professionals. Call
To go in your truck?
281
Yeah, go on the outside.
7800 or email us at info.
Is it attached to the hitch?
Mhm.
Oh,
It's
nice.
like that one I had on
Forget
the.
about our famous
The WRX?
Other car,
Super
yeah.
Investor networking meeting.
I saw a guy
Lots of
pull up in
fun,
the
lots of great
WRX,
real estate
just like the
talk.
one you had.
We'll see you
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, this yesterday at the front of the building. I was like, did he get it?
Are you looking for an
Did
he go-
investment
did he go
general
back?
contractor for your investment
All right,
property?
Yeah, it'd be a
Then
grand.
call Fast Track Remodeling at 832-742-9992 or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties. Whether it's a flip rehab or a rental rehab, we manage every aspect of a rehab from start to finish with a highly efficient, standardized process.
Over the last 6 years, Fast Track has completed over 700 projects, which has helped us to create our 3 keys to success. Use a detailed scope of work so that everything gets done, train and maintain quality crews so it gets done right, and complete the work in a proper order so it gets done fast.
No more managing it yourself, no more doing the work yourself. Fast Track Remodeling really does manage it all.
So give us a call today at 832-742-9992. Again, that's 832-742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Oh yeah, look at this. This is
business.
when I was looking at it 87 before. That was
Yeah.
January.
You guys ready?
I'm ready.
All right, gentlemen. Hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. For those of y'all watching on the Book of Faces, I'm in my Astros gear because I'm going to the baseball game today at 1 o'clock. So go Stros, go.
Man, every one of these games, like the home games,
I know.
they treat it like a playoff
I know,
game.
right?
It's like they get so pumped.
It's like 38,000 folks at the game last night. And we lost 8-7, and yeah, we've lost two the first 2 games of the Angels series.
So Daniel and I are chatting right now. I don't know if that record's at risk, but the all-time, most runs scored in a single season by a team. I don't know if it's going to be at risk, but if the Astros keep dropping football scores, I mean, it very well could be.
And certainly set the record for the Astros team.
Oh yeah, it'll be a record. But I think it was like the 1938 Yankees or something. It was like 1050, something like that, 1060 run. I mean, it was a lot of runs. So, when you're having these football score games, it's 6, 7, 8, 9 runs a game.
That's the thing. You hate to score 7 and lose, right?
Right.
Yeah, I mean that's tough, and especially because our pitching's not terrible.
No.
Yeah. So, anyhow.
But I mean, when you got Albert Pujols, I mean, it's like
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the guy's pretty decent at the old swing in the bat, and it's like
Yeah.
it's a good.
Yeah, he's been around for a little while.
He has. I was there for that game. I was sitting I'll never forget. I was sitting in the 400 section when he cranked that ball. They were on the confetti cannons, getting ready to celebrate, and he hits that home run out into the left field and breaks the window out in Minute Maid, and it just you could hear him running the bases. It was so quiet. It was crazy. It was absolutely insane. So. But I was, and you know what? He's a good guy. He's a super nice guy, very charitable. I mean, he's just like, it's really hard to dislike a guy like that. And he just happens to be really good at baseball too.
Yeah.
So, but
and he's not on our team.
And he's not on our team. Yeah, that's terrible part. But anyway, so it's exciting. So you're gonna have fun today. It's gonna be a good game. Are they gonna? They're probably not gonna have the roof open, are they?
They had it open last night, so
did they?
I don't know. They might.
That'd be
I
kinda
brought
fun.
sunglasses just in case.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah, I wore my shades today and bring some sunscreen, and so
it'll be a good time.
It should be a good time. Yeah.
But for the rest of us, we'll be stuck inside somewhere,
whatever.
enjoying our work, right? All you people, you're sitting there in your cube, trying to figure out what PC load letter means on the all-in-one fax machine. A little Office Space reference. Or my favorite, one of the things we don't ever talk about, and you didn't really have this experience, but I certainly did, and that is when you work at a big company, you at some point get stuck on what they call a cross-functional team.
Oh, yeah.
So you're on a cross-functional team with people from all different departments to solve whatever the big company problem is. A rollout for a new HRMS program, a new compliance thing, a new accounting whatever. I mean, it's one of these things that impacts multiple departments, and you're the representative for your department. And so you think, this would be kind of fun. Get to mingle with some people from the other parts of the company. And then inevitably you get
That's
stuck.
the dream. Then there's the reality.
Then there's
right?
the reality. I always like to look at these through kind of rose-colored glasses. So I'm like, this will be fun. I get to I know Bob over in accounting. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
And, I know a couple of the guys
Maybe
over
we
in
can grab
this
some
project
beers
group.
afterwards.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. Oh, this is going to be so much fun, right? And you get to work with the executive team, and then the actual meeting starts, right? And the project starts. And there's always that, sour Susie from accounting. She's like,
why you gotta hate on Susie?
It's somebody like that, right? It's somebody who's just, maybe they're a nice person out of work, but at work they're an awful person. They get paid by you swear they get paid by the number of emails they send and the length of those emails.
Right.
And so, and of course, their ability to CC everyone who's really important in the company.
Yeah.
Because if you're a CEO, that's about the first thing you want is to be CC'd on every email going on.
Not from
your
Sally
organization.
Susie.
Yeah, that's right.
Sour Susie.
Sour Susie.
Yeah.
So whenever you have these cross-functional team meetings, like in person, they are just it's like nails on a chalkboard. And one of the things we don't talk enough about is when you run your own business, you get to choose who you work with. It's great. So there's no Sour Susies in our companies. There's no Sour Susies that are members of our real estate club at any level. We just don't have those people.
Right.
We don't tolerate them.
Yeah.
So they never get to come play with us. It is great. You have zero stress over those meetings. There's zero stress.
Yeah, how'd I miss all that?
You need to go get a real job at some point.
I don't have a real job?
No, you need to get a real job because what defines a real job is it has to be miserable.
Oh.
So you need to get a real job in corporate America somewhere.
Yeah, I've skipped all that.
Oh my gosh, I've got so many stories. I'll never forget when I was on the account management side, and I'd sit there with the executive team of a hospital, and usually it's just me and my counterpart. And then all of a sudden, the rest of our executive team would show up, and you're like, "What are you doing here? Why are there 7 people in a meeting, and there's 2? The client brings 2, and there's 7 of. This is ridiculous." So anyway, I could go on story after story of just people trying to feel more important. It's like it's just work, guys. You don't have to tie your ego to your job. It's just work. It's not that big a deal. But anyway, so I could go on and on. But I also work some really great places too. So I mean, there's that with some really good people. But you get in an organization large enough, there are people you just don't want to work with, and you get stuck on their team, right? It's like graduate school.
It's statistically a probability, right?
Yeah, it is highly.
Get enough people in a room.
Highly probable. Well, I'm reading a lot of Aaron Clarey stuff, and there's some truth to this. The further you get out of STEM, and I include accounting in that, and I include some of the investment side. The further you get out of STEM, the more kind of weird stuff that you enter into because you really don't have, when you're in the engineering side, you really don't have time to mess around with the latest HR policy and who's doing what and what legal issue here. I mean, it's like, look, we're just trying to build stuff, guys. So it's interesting being on those project teams versus being more on the soft science side of things. So in any case, that's for those of you out there, Tom will be enjoying a baseball game while the rest of us are slaving away under fluorescent lights in our cubicle, filling out TPS reports.
You oftentimes turn your fluorescent lights off and just enjoy the sunlight and the view of I-10.
Hey, you know what? My first office was the first office I got when I started a company, right? That was I never had a window. For the 15 years I worked.
Oh, yeah?
I never had a window.
So the office that had the dartboard with that was your first window office?
Our first office was the first one I had a window.
Oh, wow.
In. Ridiculous, isn't it? You are not allowed to see sunlight.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of my first window. Yeah, it was a little bit before that.
It's the little things, right? It's the little things that that matter. Can I see sunlight?
Yeah. Yeah, you have a few windows in your office now.
Yeah, I do. That's why the blinds are always open. Doesn't matter how hot or cold it is. The
I'm
blinds
curious,
are always open.
of all your previous employers, did anyone ever have an office as big as your current office?
No. Oh, no. No, mine is bigger than any of them.
Yeah.
With exception to the guy that actually runs the whole thing. Mine is bigger
the
than
CEO
all of them. Yes.
of the no.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's crazy.
And that was by design. Right, because I put the conference room in there. I don't want to walk down the hall to a conference room. Just put the conference room in my office.
Right.
Works out perfect.
Yeah. So back to real estate.
All right, back to real estate.
So isn't there risk in real estate? I mean, isn't it possible that I could buy, like the equivalent of 1,000 shares of Exxon stock and have it drop $9,000?
Sure. Especially when your historic PE ratio is 15 and it's trading right now at 24.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a little bit of risk there. Or the risk I saw this morning.
No, but in real estate, that's
oh,
what
yeah.
Yeah. So,
heck yeah.
So what could happen in real estate? Why can I lose all my money?
Yeah, you lose all your money and then some. I'll tell you this:
how could I lose all my money in real estate?
It's pretty simple. Let's say it's not insured and it burns down.
Oh, okay. That'd be stupid.
Yeah, I mean, there's some residual value there to that property, but I mean that's
actually
one
we talked a little bit about that about what happens when a house in a neighborhood burns down and there's no other houses in that neighborhood selling for north of 200, and what's that lot worth? And it's really not worth anything, right?
It's not. I mean, you need to hit high threes.
Yeah,
high threes really starts making some sense. There was actually in the old section of Sugar Land that I was renting in last year. There was a house that burned down, and we through the grapevine got a hold of the owners, and they said, "Oh no, we're going to rebuild. We're just fighting with the insurance." I mean, it burned down to the slab, down.
Yeah,
and we thought, "Oh man, we can get a lot on the cheap," because houses there are trading at $175, almost $200 a square foot, depending on what you build. So I thought, "Oh, this would be sweet. It's right across from the pool, and I get a lot on the cheap. Then we build something." And they said, "No, we're staying there. We're just fighting with the insurance company, and once we're done, then we're going to build it back." But I'll tell you what's crazy is the fire got so hot it burned the back fence, and the lots are pretty big. Yeah, I mean it burned. It was crazy. I don't know how the neighbors' houses didn't catch. Maybe the wind was blowing in that direction, but yeah, it was crazy. So, anyways, they ended up building back. But yeah, if you're in and around the median home price and a house burns down in your neighborhood, unless they're building back with insurance funds, nobody's going to buy that lot and build a house. It just doesn't. It doesn't make sense. So you're going to end up with this vacant lot.
You work backwards on the numbers, and we'll talk about that on the other side of the break. How do you work backwards on the numbers and determine what you could pay for a lot in a neighborhood like that? You're listening to Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817.
Mike's off.
Hi, Clint Coons here, attorney and avid real estate investor. You know the greatest mistake real estate investors make is not understanding the potential liability that exists from owning real estate. At Anderson Business, Legal, and Tax Advisors, we specialize in protecting real estate investors in all 50 states. In addition to structuring your business for optimum protection, we provide guidance so you pay the least amount of taxes available under the law. We have 150 employees that range from lawyers to CPAs to estate planners and much more. Download our free ebook, The Invisible Investor Strategy, today at AndersonAdvisors.com or call for a free risk reduction analysis and financial blueprint at 800-706-4741. Anderson Business Advisors will help you keep more of what you earn. Call us today at 800-706-4741 and mention Right Path Real Estate.
You found or inherited a great investment property. Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Do you have cracks in your brick, doors that stick, or sheetrock that's coming apart? Then you may have foundation movement. Due to our expansive soils in the Houston area, it's probably not a question of if you have movement, but when. Call Foundation Check for a truly independent, unbiased foundation evaluation. Foundation Check has been in business since 2009 and has completed over 1,400 evaluations. We're not in the business of repairing foundations or selling you unnecessary peer work, but we are in the business of evaluating your foundation. Our product is designed for house flippers, landlords, or even owner-occupied properties. Each of our files is reviewed by a licensed engineer. Remember to check before every repair. Call 346-702-3825. That's 346-702-3825. Or you can reach us online at foundationcheck.com. That's foundationcheck.com.
Did you know that there are over $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the U.S.? Imagine if you could use someone's IRA
IRS
to
cashed
fund
my
all of
check.
your deals.
That's nice.
Well,
That's nice of
you
them.
can.
Sweet
Quest IRA
guys
is
that
based
they
locally
are.
here in Houston, Texas. At Quest IRA, we offer retirement accounts that can be used to invest in real estate, promissory notes, private entities, and much more. Many of our clients loan money from their IRAs to fund real estate deals all over the country. We don't sell any investments or give advice. However, we do hold free networking events, weekly educational classes, and free consultations with an IRA specialist. For more information, visit our website at questira.com or call us at 1-855-FUN-IRAs to tap into the $24 trillion in retirement accounts in the
$11
US.
billion.
Call Quest IRA at 1-855-FUN-IRAs or go to our website, questira.com.
Are small returns
30
getting in the way
seconds.
of your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree. Single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9%
You know, whenever I hear this
preferred
commercial, I always
return and
think,
up to a
I wonder what
13%
Jackie's
waterfall.
up to.
Yeah, right.
Call us today at 281-915-0906
Well, she had a new baby.
or visit our website,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
jbfundservices.com. That's 281-915-0906. This investment is offered to accredited investors.
This is Business 1110.
All right, gentlemen, hot mics.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio, 713-785-1817. Or you can join us on the Book of Faces. That's facebook.com. Go to Right Path Real Estate's page. Like the page. Then you can follow us on video. You can see us sitting here in the studio, doing what we do on the break, talking about, you hear the conversation continuing. And you can also type in questions like Brian Case did. Guys, I've been struggling pulling the cord to purchase my first rental. I get the logic and completely agree. I fixed flips, so private money to support funding and my capital. Using my capital for the 25% down payment needed to begin purchasing rentals is holding me back. Any insight on how to fund after the first rental? I'd only look at properties that would provide me equity, but not sure how to leverage to purchase moving forward. You want to take that one?
Yeah, you just got to buy them deep enough. You don't have to put 25% down. You don't have to put 20. You don't have to put anything down if you don't want to. You just have to buy them deep enough. It's really the name of the game here. If you buy them deep enough, maybe you're $5,000 or $10,000 out of pocket, or nothing. You know, now I don't want to be the typical real estate guru you hear on the radio. It says
you can get rich selling real estate. No,
you know, you could. How many houses can you buy if you don't have anything out of pocket?
All of them.
That's so stupid. Anyway, that's not true. I mean, it's true in the technical standpoint. Can you buy houses with no money out of pocket as rental properties? Absolutely. Are there 1,000 of those deals a month? No. So reality is that you get into this business and you buy houses that need work. And when you buy houses that need work, you're providing value to the marketplace, meaning you're fixing a house that nobody else wants to deal with. And because you're able to fix that house that nobody else wants to deal with, you can buy it at a deeper discount. And typically that equity, depending on how much equity you capture, goes directly against your down payment. So if you've got the right lenders in place and you buy it deep enough, you will be less out of pocket. Now, can you buy real estate, single-family real estate with no money out of pocket? Absolutely. Does it happen every day? Sure. For those of us who do this as a profession, a full-time job, you know, we're working the real estate market, we're looking for those deals. For a guy who's working full-time, wants to do real estate part-time, is it acceptable for you to be, let's say, $5,000 or $10,000 out of pocket? Cash flow is $300 a month. You're out of pocket $10,000. means it makes $3,600 a year for your $10,000 in the deal. That's a 36% cash-on-cash return. Plus, you get equity capture. Plus, you get the depreciation from the real estate. And more importantly, the third one here, you get appreciation as well. And the appreciation is where the money is really added single-family real estate. Fourth thing you get is obviously debt pay down. So your tenant is in there. You're not paying the mortgage. Technically, your tenant is paying the mortgage. So that's how single-family real estate works. We talk all about that at the weekend retreat. But you don't have to put 25% down or 20% down if you don't want to. You just have to buy them deeper. It really comes down to how much time do you have to go find those really great real estate deals. You know, that's the difference between our passive investor network and the folks that are more active in this business. If you've got time and money to spend to go look at every deal in town, to go look at a whole lot of deals, to spend money in marketing, to hone your sales skills, to make offers directly to homeowners and real estate agents and wholesalers, you're going to get those houses at a deeper discount. Conversely, our passive investor network, we've got a team up here that finds deals for other people. Now, are the margins as good? Are the returns as good as those who do it actively? Absolutely not. But for somebody to literally sit at their desk at the office and get emailed properties and sign a couple of documents and send Fast Track out to do a rehab estimate and have Jerry Taw do the property management, I mean, literally all they're doing is moving paperwork from one side of the desk to the other, and they're getting rich doing that. So here's what I can tell you. When you look at the rates of return, when you look at the equity capture and all that other stuff, it's a little bit lower on the passive side, but you're building wealth with not a whole lot of work. So I think you've got to decide which side of the coin you want to be on. And then come out to our weekend retreat. I mean, we teach all this stuff at the weekend retreat, and we go over how not to be $1 zillion out of pocket. But the reality is what are we doing here, guys? We're investing.
Right.
Right? We got to put some money in these things. We got to put some time in them. We're investing. And that's the important part.
So Brian asked a question. Brian, actually, he said he signed up for the weekend retreat in May and really looking forward to it. And then L asked a question, is there a foundation company that will take payment at a cash-out refi? And of all the investor-friendly real estate the real estate investor-friendly foundation companies, I'm not aware of any of those that will do that. I mean, perhaps one of the retail guys would do it, an Olshan or a Due West or something like that. But, I would wonder, did you
How
not...
expensive is that foundation?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, why would you need them to do that? Because the foundation needs to be done first in a construction project. And so if you buy it right, you should be able to have a hard money lender or a private money lender fund your repairs. So, I mean, we always get the funding from our lender to do those kind of things.
You know what we ought to do? We ought to put together I want to do more infographics. Like, that's my thing over the next couple of months.
Yeah.
And maybe what we ought to do is sit down and build an infographic of the process of doing a real estate deal.
Yeah.
Because even if you buy the thing at the right price, if you're not following a process, and I'll tell you what, and I had a mentor tell me this one time, and he said, look, you will figure this real estate thing out. And when you figure it out, he said, truth be told, he said, I've been doing this 25 years. It's mindlessly boring.
Yeah.
And he's right. The actual real estate part of this business is so boring because once you get a house under contract, it's the same process. We go to our lender and get our money. We have Fast Track, get a rehab estimate. We take our deal over to Texas American Title where they do the title work. And then all the money shows up at the title company. We close. And then when we close, we call Fast Track. Hey, guys, when are you going to get started? They go out and do the demo. We get the foundation fixed. And then they start doing the rehab. Then they finish with doing the roof, right? I mean, that's kind of from the bottom all the way to top. And then as they're doing that, we're calling Jerry Taw. Hey, Jerry, this house is going to be done in 2 weeks. Can we go ahead and put it on the market for property care to lease out? I mean, it's when you do your first couple of deals, really super exciting. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. You learn it. And then after that, it's so boring. It's just a process. Building and here's what's really important, guys. Building wealth should be mind-numbingly boring.
Yes.
And here's why. Because if it's exciting, because there's all this drama, then you can't build a real process in building wealth. when you build a process around something, it's not exciting because it's the same thing over and over and over and over again. I mean, do you think over at Ford, do you think it's really exciting for them to build cars? I mean, when the new car comes out and they're putting it on the line and they're like, woo, here's the new Shelby. I mean, everybody's all excited. When they build 10,000 Shelbys, is number 10,000 as exciting as number 1?
It's like when Discount Tire changes a set of tires. You've got a new set of tires, but is it all that exciting for them to, another set of tires just rolled out the door?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not all that exciting.
I've been to the Mercedes plant in Stuttgart when they start pumping out those AMGs. I've been to the Porsche plant.
I've been to the Porsche plant.
And you're there, and it's like, you chat with a couple of German dudes, right?
It was incredibly small, is what I thought.
It's very small.
Yeah,
it's amazing how small it is, right?
Pulled up like, is this all there is? Because my dad has a friend that. And he's over there, and so he was able to buy the guy that's the sales manager for Porsche internationally he gets a company car, obviously.
Yeah, gotta have a company car.
911 Cabriolet.
Yeah,
and so Dad's friend got that car when it was a year old because you only drive it for a year and then
you need a new one, right?
Yeah. So maintained by Porsche and all of it. So that was the car that he bought.
Yeah, and you go out there and you're at the Porsche factory and you realize you watch this whole thing and you realize this is like a day in the office of these guys because it's just pumping them out, right? Yeah. It's like go watch a video on how McLarens are built. It's it's another way that you may be all excited. It's your
oh
first
my god,
time.
it's a McLaren,
and they're like, yeah, we make these all day. It's not really. It's fun, we're having fun with it, but and so building wealth should be mind-numbingly boring. Because it's just this process. It's like one after another, after another, after another. Now, if you want the HGTV flip this house, that kind of experience where there's all this drama and oh my gosh, what's going on? Then that's not real estate investing.
No.
The TV shows are not real estate investing.
No.
The TV shows are there for entertainment.
No, they're there to sell commercials, so you got to have drama so you'll keep watching,
That's
right?
true. That's true.
They're there to sell commercials. The only reason why those shows exist is for the commercials.
Yeah.
And if you've ever noticed, I remember when I was a kid, it was like 2 30-second commercials and then the TV program was back on.
Yeah.
Now it's like 7 to 9
That's
minutes
right.
of commercials. I'm like, holy smokes.
Yeah.
Thank God for a DVR.
Yeah, exactly. So, go back to what Daniel was saying. He's going through his personal residence, which I went through last summer, right? So I know where he's at. And, of course, your wife is like, oh, I want to look at every little detail. I'm looking for the dream house. And I'm like, look, I trade these things like baseball cards. I could care less.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, I don't care. Because it's just... and of course, it won't be the last house. It won't be the dream. Heck, we're probably going to retire in an Airstream. So it's like, it's not even who even cares about the house, right? It's all about, are we making any money from this stuff? The stuff that and this is where it's so fascinating when someone says your personal residence is an asset. I couldn't disagree more. I'm like, no, it's not. It's an enormous liability, even if it's paid for. It's not an asset. All those single-family houses you own as rental properties, assets. The one you live in is not an asset. It shouldn't even show up on your net worth calculation.
Right.
It's completely worthless as far as I'm concerned. We have a ton of equity in our house. We bought it at a crazy great price, but it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, I got to have a place to live, right? So it's kind of a moot point. But anyway, so
JC asked the question, I want to purchase multiple rentals already rented as a package deal. Do you have or can you recommend a lender or the best way to acquire financing? That's difficult to answer over a radio show because it's going to depend on a lot of things related to your personal financial situation. And are you going to do it have you already, first off, identified the package that you want to buy? Or is this just like you want to put financing in place first and then go out shopping for the package? But these are the kind of things that we do talk about at the weekend retreat. And within our family, we call it our tribe. Within our tribe, we have a great lender that is only accessible through our inner circle. And we talk about that at the weekend retreat. So if you want to sign up to come to our weekend retreat in May, it'll probably be the last one that we do that's a 3-day event, right?
Yeah, this will be the last full 3-day one we do.
Yeah.
One of the things one of the challenges is a lot of people just can't take the Friday off, right? So... And so what we're going to do is build a whole video series leading up to the weekend retreat that folks watch before they go to the weekend to take care of that Friday. And Friday's like vocabulary and basics of math and all that. And we figured let's just do that in a video series, and then our weekend retreat will be a Saturday, Sunday. So May will be the last the last weekend retreat we do. That'll be a full 3-day. And the other thing I'll tell you is The May of retreat will be the last one before we raise prices, and we are going to raise them
a lot.
A lot. Yeah. They are. If you are interested in going to the May weekend retreat, I highly recommend you send an email to support at Right Path Real Estate, because we are just jacking the prices up, and we should, to be quite honest with you. We're running out of space to do the weekend retreat. We have so many people that are coming that we're just going to raise the price, and until the demand's so high, so keep raising the price, right? I mean, that's kind of capitalism 101. And, the other thing, too, is we want the most serious people in the room. So if y'all are interested in going to the weekend retreat at a very reasonable price, send an email to support at Right Path Real Estate. Starting in June, we are raising the prices by factor of 5. I mean, they're going to be 5 times more expensive. So, in any case, that's...
So back to JC, she's adding, she said, I have the package ready to buy. She said, your retreat is great. I totally recommend that for anyone here. So thanks for that, JC. I appreciate it. So in terms of the package that's already ready to buy, I mean, you've got a lot of different options. There's the option, there's a long-term financing that's a asset-based only product. That it's not based on your job, your credit. So if you're buying it deep enough, it's 6 points and 6 or 7% interest rate, and it's 25-year financing, amortized at 25 years, and you could buy each of those properties individually, and gives you a lot of flexibility. So if depending on your situation, you could go that route, you could go a community bank route. I mean, there's lots of different places that you could go.
There's a lot of different options, but here's what I'll tell you about rental properties as a whole. There's really 2 factors you have to get right. One is the financing. The second one is the property management piece. Everything else is pretty easy. So we'll talk more about that when we get back from the break. It's Jason Bible, Tom Perry, Right Path Real Estate.
Mike's out.
So Elle's saying the plan that I'm going through is to cash out refi a personal home that has foundation issues, then use the funds to have for investment property.
742-9992, or reach us on the web at fasttrackremodeling.com.
Fast Track Remodeling specializes in turnkey remodeling of single-family investment properties.
Ella, there's an easy way to do that.
No more managing it yourself.
You can do that at. You actually get a HELOC. I think it'd be easier to do it as a HELOC. But you have to be very careful with a HELOC.
Yeah.
Are you a realtor or seller that is concerned
6 points is 6%. It's not 6K, it's 6% of whatever the amount is that you're borrowing, and which is a very small. I mean, if it's a short-term hard money loan, 6 points would be onerous, but 6 points over a 25-year amortization is not very much. It's $6,000 per 100,000 borrowed.
Let's talk about how we can help you on your next transaction. NMLS 514497.
Selecting a foundation company and their product for repair is a lot like a game of chance. You simply don't know.
Yeah, you can reach out actually to Tom Berry for that long-term financing.
ILS.cash.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? ILS.cash.com or something like that. Let me see if I can find his website.
Remember to check.
Yeah, so Tom Berry has that, and he's a former radio show sponsor for that product particular. And then you can also reach out to the guys at Vizio, do that kind of long-term financing, and Jets works closely with Vizio on that.
Like that. You need a quick turnaround on quotes.
Oh, it's ILS.cash.
I just posted it.
The team at Benchmark understands the investor mindset. They know what you need.
Here's the problem you're typically going to find. When you start getting into like a 20-year AM on these package deals, a lot of them won't cash flow. And I haven't.
It's a 25-year AM.
He's got 10, 20, 5, 10, 20 options.
Oh, I thought he had a 25.
Let me see. 20-year AM, 20-year AM. I only see 20-year AMs on here at 6 to 7.5% interest. And then I see an 8.5 on a 20-year AM. So here's the problem with these. They stop cash flowing. And I don't know what. I didn't ask Seth the other day what their DSCR is. So, in other words, these things need to produce a lot of cash. Or you're going to be out of pocket.
Or email us at info@jetlending.com.
Taxes. Just the sound of that word makes people cringe. At Anderson Advisors, we provide tax reduction
Oh, look at
and
this.
asset protection for real estate investors throughout the country. Our unique philosophy
Oh, is he working with
CPAs,
them?
lawyers,
Wow.
bookkeepers, and estate planners with
Testimonial.
one
Oh, look at
common
that.
goal, helping
Oh, I know
you,
Matt
the real
Downs did a
estate
deal with them.
investor.
Yeah.
Check us out today at AndersonAdvisors.com, and don't forget to tell us you heard about us at Right Path Real Estate.
You found or inherited a great investment
That's not
property.
good.
Problem is, you don't know how much it's worth, or more importantly, what to do to maximize your investment while mitigating risk. This is exactly why we started Next Gen Appraisals. Next Gen is a group of appraisers specializing in investment real estate. We understand that investors aren't just looking for a number of what their property is worth, but a comprehensive analysis of the market. Give Next Gen a call at 713-346-9911 or check us out online at nextgenappraisals.com.
Are small returns getting
30
in the way of
seconds.
your retirement plans? Why settle for mediocre results? There's a better place to invest. The experts agree, single-family real estate is one of the best investments you can make. Find out how JB Fund Services offers a 9% preferred return and up to a 13% waterfall. Call us today at 281-915-0906 or visit our website,
All right, guys, when we come back, we're gonna have 2 minutes.
That's
Oh.
281-915-0906.
Oh, we must have
This
gone long,
investment
huh?
is offered to accredited investors.
Yeah.
You were going to send me a clock?
1110.
Oh, yeah, stand by. All right, fellas, hot mic.
Hey, welcome back. Right Path Real Estate Radio. So what I want to tell everybody to do is go to rightpathrealestate.com and see the next events that we have coming up. Jason mentioned it on the previous section that we're not doing the 3-day event anymore after the event in May, because what we're going to do is require that people come into the weekend retreat, do a lot of the things that we cover on day one, which is the Friday, which is a lot of investor math and the investor vocabulary, things like that. We're going to put together a video training series that is the precursor. Watch at your leisure. So when you're coming to the weekend retreat, you'll be able to log in, watch that, and then you'll come already with a lot of the information covered. We can just start off with asking questions on Saturday over the material that was covered, that kind of stuff, and then go right into Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, it's we don't want to do the basic stuff anymore. Y'all can watch that. There's plenty of information out there that's basic, and but really spend Tom and I's time really getting into the strategies we're using to build wealth and income, as well as the members of our club, what they're doing to build their wealth and income with real estate. So if y'all want to come to the weekend retreat, this will be the last month. It'll be the weekend retreat in May. It'll be a highly discounted weekend retreat. We get as many people in there as that want to come. And then after that, it's going to be a much smaller group. So send an email to support@rightpathrealestate.com, or you can come see me Thursday night. I'm going to do an introductory workshop that talks about the weekend retreat and the things that you'll learn. Again, that's Thursday night. You can go to rightpathrealestate.com.
And JC, send an email to support@rightpathrealestate.com, support@rightpathrealestate.com. Give your contact information. Thanks for listening, guys. We got the bus tour on May 5th, and we'll see you on Thursday. Thanks so much. Have a great evening.
All right, gentlemen, have a good day. Tom, I'll send you that